Hello, plant hoarders and friends. My name is Kelly, and I am here to go from a plant hoarder to a plant enthusiast. So today I put out a voting thing, and people actually voted. It might have been just two, but I appreciate you guys. I don't know yet how to see who done it, so when I do, definitely shout outs. So since they voted to go big and go home, um, I looked into that and I found a video. The YouTube channel is called Go Helping, and the kid, his name is Alex, and he goes through the whole process. He's doing it for a reptile cage, but same process. So basically, you soak it and wash it. So I have, the Dawn squeeze things, and I just took a scrubber and lightly scrubbed it. I chose to keep the bark on it, because I just thought it looked cool. And, dude, I put it in the water and I started like scrubbing, and all these ants just start crawling out, okay? Like, I don't freak out. And honestly, I've been watching a lot of Ants Canada. Shout out, I'll put a link to his YouTube channel. It's so cool. He just made like, go watch it. So, I don't know, a new respect for ants, but I feel like they were these things called crazy ants where they're invasive. So I think I did a good thing. Population control or something. So anyways, that is a good reason why you soak it. This was also outside, and so it's been rainy, so it was already pretty wet. So I didn't soak it for too long, maybe an hour. Sometimes they suggest like overnight if it's a really dry piece that you're trying to sterilize. So I popped it in the oven. While I did that, I prepped for the next thing that we're doing, which are terrariums. I wanted to show you the piece of wood that I got sterilized, and this is, we're gonna rehome the staghorn somewhere that like she belongs, like way more than a moss pole. Like, it's been really bothering me ever since we did it. So, two options. I was like, do I plant it right here with the bark? Like, it's a good texture. I could do something else, like shooting up from behind it, like, or do I, do it like this? I have two air plants, to add on for decor. Those are what were originally in the terrarium. So speaking of terrariums, dun, 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 I'm excited. So there are a few basic things that you have to do with a terrarium. There's the substrate level where you put like rocks. There's so many different rocks that you can use to have that drainage level, like those lava rocks, pea gravel, stones outside. I'm gonna reuse the stones that were already in it with the air plant. So I have that. The only thing that I'm not sure about is the layer between the substrate and the drainage. I have two coffee filters, and I think that will be a good alternative because that's almost like that black mesh, that you put down. So I'll put that, and I put fertilizer and more orchid mixture and perlite in with my soil, and was mixing my soil earlier. Yeah, so I'm gonna put that. I have like some cool rocks that I might put in them, and I have two plants, so one, and I have two different types of moss, but I might want to use both in each. So we'll figure it out as we go. Well, so let's learn about. So suggestions that are also very common are like cocoa fiber, sphagnum moss, worm castings, which I have the fertilizer and charcoal stuff that you use that I know is recommended a lot, I hear. See, I do what I can. Okay, I'm going to pause this and we're going to set up next to the plants in the terrariums. This is the purple waffle plant. Isn't it great? So she's a low-growing plant. She loves very moist environments, a lot of humidity, and a lot of the places that I did research said perfect for terrariums. So this is a plant that we are going to prune, and I'll do that right now. It said it's a very, very easy plant to propagate, which was also said about the next plant we're going to learn about. So this plant, like the other plant, are from northwest forest in South America in tropical and subtropical climates. Very durable plants. In fact, when I prune the tops of these, because I'm going to grab a few, this is just going to encourage like bushier growth. So, you know, it's a win-win situation. So right here, I think as long as it's right below the node, so right here, if you see that line, I'm just going to cut closer to the one I'm leaving. Boop. Just like that. Ah! And we got our clipping. I'm going to do that again. Let's see. This one, like, I don't know if I grab. You know what? I'm going to grab this little bushel. I'm going to get rid of some of the leaves. But I bet you that'll be fun. And maybe this little tiny one. Yeah, let's get this little tiny. Because I've seen these videos where they have like the tiniest of clippings, and they do really well. Maybe I do more. Am I getting clipping happy? Ah! I'm going in blind. Alright, I'm done. Maybe this little guy? Is it possible? I'm gonna try. Did I do it? I think it survived. Kind of. I wonder if I just put it in. Okay. This plant is a fittonia. Look how beautiful the white veins are. Like, so this is also called like the nerve plant or the mosaic plant. And they also, I love how I wasn't showing you the plant. They're also, like the other plant, found in the forests of northwest South America. Like, look how beautiful. I was just thrilled when I found out I had 2 plants that would thrive in terrariums. Because when I first got the terrariums, they had these stones, these air plants, which I'm still curious about that and what's all that about. But anyways, I didn't like it, and I thought it could be used for a way cooler purpose. So I didn't take all of the stones because I figured we were putting them back in, and I also cracked it. I was using a screwdriver, and it just went clink. And so I had like gel super glue, and so I super glued it and put like this, like 3 layers on top of it. So fingers crossing for that one. But aren't these really cool in the top? And they have little holes, so like you do have to come and like spray it, make sure the moss is like all wet. Speaking of moss, I had these little poof balls, pincushion moss, because obviously it's all round. These are actually native just to you know, the Northeast. And this is sheet moss. It basically, this is used a lot like in decor. A lot of people use it to make those like moss balls and everything. So these are the mosses we're gonna use. Look, I already put them all. I want to make a little hill for depth, because on YouTube he is so cool, like so many videos about making terrariums and like how to make them like look purposeful and just not flat. I was watching these videos on YouTube. I will leave the link below because I'm totally blanking out on who it is and I can't find it in my notes at the moment. So I will link it down below though. I will find it. He would always put like a hill coming forward so you've got like depth and kind of like a cool thing. So let me bring you closer and let's get this started. I wasn't sure if I wanted, well, first and foremost, let's clean our scissors. I clean them, I don't know. I figure there's alcohol in it, like, if I was struggling. Look at that tiny. Because they're gonna grow, right? So wouldn't I want the tiniest ones? Right? Where'd it go? There it is. No, come back. Come back. Oh. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Oh. These leaves are just so pretty. And the stems, the stems are short and they're fuzzy, and it's just so cool. Okay, so we have our pieces set out. This is what we got, guys. We got pin cushion moss, and so pin cushion moss, and these guys, they actually flower, and when they're trying to pollinate, they'll stick out these little kind of like antennae, and that's how they release their spores. Anyways, But sheet moss is very, very common. I actually even want to make one of those like moss balls at some point. That would be so fun. So, let's start. First, I want to trace a circle. So we can get that on. Obviously, I'm going to use all of these, just one per. I just want to talk about this. I mean, I just have just I think I was excited to do this project because it was kind of like taking something that looked cheap and poorly done and enhancing it. You know what I mean? Like those airplanes we're using today too because you guys wanted to go big, go home. All right. So first on each, we are going to add, I'm just reusing the rocks. I rinsed them off. I'm doing it at an angle because I want to start kind of like, I don't know, encouraging. So I have little hands. So I'm going to be able to kind of manipulate everything by hand, luckily. Okay, now we're going to put the filter in. And this is so the drainage level, or the drainage area. Oh, damn. See? These weren't big enough. I should have done them a little bit bigger. And that's why we get more than what we need. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Now we're going to put the substrate, which I'm just using my soil. Better late than never. This is so fun. Alright, so I got this going on, and I have a couple of rocks. Okay, I think I can make this work. The bubble stuff will look really good. So far, it's kind of looking like this. Continue creating like depth, like this is a big mountain. I'm gonna put the tiny ones in the back and put the bigger ones in the front. Maybe this one. Goes here. Wow. This one. Hold on, there needs to be. Oh my god. This is gonna be so cute. Like, look at that. Look at that. And then like right here I'm gonna use a big one. Yes. Something to that matter. And then look. You see the little tiny one? I think I'm gonna move it. I don't think I want it against the side. I think I'm gonna have to use tweezers like that guy did. I'm gonna have to be so gentle. I couldn't find my dull ones. Alright. That was so nerve-wracking. Alright. I got her like all the way up in the corner. Maybe I'll put like a little sheet moss like behind it. It'll really pop. There we go. We have 2 of these. A big one of this. They said take like the underleaves off, and I wonder if I should I mean, this one has holes in it, so this one has holes in it. So we're gonna be left with this. Like, this one's barely hanging on for like, gosh darn it. But it has like 2 little babies. Two smaller babies like on its way. So we have 2 of these, 2 of these. We don't have another one up front, like okay. So there's the final touch. You guys can't even probably see it from here. But there's one last plant. I don't want to crush it. This guy. I'm going to put him right behind the other guy back there. I got the tiny ass ones, and it gets bigger going in front, kind of creating, you know, some depth. So the last thing we got to do to this one is give it a nice spritz. Okay. I think we're good. Let me try to use, you know, waste not, want not. Alright. And so all of these plants like bright and direct, right? So usually on my shelf over here is a pretty good place for them. Get that. And check it out. Let's do some final looks, shall we? All right, let's check it out. You know, look at all our nice drainage. It looks cool, like on a slant. And it goes all the way up to this guy. I think that looks so much better than it did before. Like, for real. Alright, let's get set up for the next one. Okie dokie. So, I do realize there's probably way better ways to like film this so you guys can super see what I'm doing. But here's what we have. So this one, I really tried to get a lot of orchid bark into this one. I still wanted the slant. Tap, 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 tap. I still wanted the slant, but just a lot of like natural looking elements. I couldn't find any regular rocks that, I don't want that, would, so I improvised. So, we have crystals. Pretty sure this is like a rose quartz. So we're gonna dig this in. Not too much, but just to like get the effect. Okay. And then I have two more. If you guys know what it is, let me know. Or what they are. I mean, I think this is a quartz, and that was a rose quartz. I don't know what this guy is. So I'm gonna put kind of group them like this. And okay, so I think this is gonna be kind of like the layout I go to, but I'm gonna fill it in with soil now. No, I'm not. I'm gonna fill it in with moss. So I think I'm covering all of it because I have so much sheet moss. I rinsed it real quick. It still has some stuff, but like I said, if it's not like harmful and bring like fruit flies, fleas, anything like into my house.
And honestly, it like looks similar. Cause I mean, it's holding together like a sheet, but it's also like fuzzy. I don't know.
I think that looks pretty cool. Right? Like, it looks all dreamlike and ooh. Alright. Now, I have this one, and this one. So, sinking these in the back because they were in the front in the other ones. And I think they look really nice next to the pink. Fingers, Kelly. Use them. Well, my carpal tunnel at this point is like... I just wanted to reach through the glass to like help my other hand. Okay. Ow. Alright, check it out. I think it turned out really good. Nice tilt. Got the crystals. I think the plants are like placed nicely. Alright. Let's spritz her in. Let's seal the deal. This is your home indefinitely. Just kidding. I'm sure you'll grow out of it. That process that happens inside of things. Yeah. I just wanted to stay nice and humid. Have enough water for like a start, and then after that be like probably, you know, it's spritz a day or something, or whenever it's dry, really, because you just want to keep yeah, so for these you're gonna want to keep like the moss balls, it needs to be as wet for the moss balls to be like saturated. That's what's going to keep the humidity. So, both of these plants, ooh, ready? All right, here we go. Like, that's cool. All right, let's get back. Okay. Both of these turned out like beyond what was in my head. The crystals, just thought of it because I thought, you know, I had rocks that would fit more. Like I might arrange it so this one can be seen a little bit more, but check that out. You know, according to the information that I got, which I will link below, this should do it. I think it's super cute. Here's the other one with like the itty bitty tiny one right there, and they just get bigger going down. Like, I dig that. Apparently this will do wonders. It needs indirect sunlight, and soil needs to be very, very moist. All right, so I know I said go big, go home. This video, without editing, is already an hour, and I'm new at editing, so I'm still kind of slow. So, and it's getting late. All excuses, I know. And I let down the 2 people that voted. I'm ashamed of myself. But let me tell you, tomorrow morning, after I feed the pups and all that fun stuff, we will be mounting this. And I guess the question I leave with you, and I'll put it on my Instagram and Facebook, and which on Instagram I'm at Kelsma. This is going to be tomorrow, so I already have an idea of how to do this because this has been on my bucket list of like last summer I got the staghorn, which was my bucket list plant to get, and all I could just imagine is it just a huge piece of driftwood and just ugh. However, since we got a baby of it, and I really don't like looking at it in a moss pole, I feel like it deserves more. And this is basically like a little cradle. Like a little cradle. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I am a new channel, so that will help tremendously. Thank you so much for watching. Tomorrow we will be mounting some stag, and thank you so much. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Did I say that? I think making those terrariums, the time we took on it, I think was worth it. They came out really good in the end. On that note, it is getting late, and so I don't think I'm gonna go beg. I think I am gonna go into my bed. However, tomorrow morning, mount the stag. Also, oh yeah, if we put it in this way too, I can put one of those water systems to keep all, we're going to do peat moss, soil, wrap it real good. And possibly like put supports while it's settling in and everything, which we can just put around the board. You know what? This might be a good idea. But hey, you tell me. Okay, I'll see you next time. Subscribe, like, go back and like the other videos. If you haven't seen the other videos, go see them. I'm getting better. Alright, have a good night. See you next time.